Well, one of the things that we wanted to do this morning, as Chris mentioned last week, is to have some testimony about mission and to talk about this church as a missional church. That's part of our identity. And so I would like to call forward first Corey Eubanks and then Katie Kirkpatrick.
It's so little bitty. Can you guys hear me if I don't even hold it? That's amazing. All right, well, my name is Corey Eubanks. I am married to Dan Eubanks. He is y'all's resident youth pastor. He deals with all your crazy high schoolers and all that good stuff. Poor guy, right? He's at home right now with Eli, my little boy, who has ear infections, and he's pretty messed up, poor little guy. Anyway, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have a house and a car. I have some brown shoes and some white shoes. I have pink shoes. I have an IRA. I have a house, pool in the back. Wait a minute. Does this make me any more or any less of a Christian because I have stuff? Recently, I went to Belize. Actually last week. And I'm watching your children singing. You make beautiful things as it's raining through the roof of the church. I'm walking the streets of Orange Walk, Belize, passing out VBS flyers, and I can see straight into their house because they don't even have windows in some of these houses. But does that make the Belizean people any more or any less of a Christian because they don't have? You know, a lot of people say, well, Corey, it all sounds good in theory. You don't understand. I would love to go on a mission trip with you to Belize. I would love to go to Honduras, but I don't have the money. And that sounds so good, that praisey Jesus stuff. Recently, I have a friend who just Facebooked me when I got back, and she said, Corey, I want you to know I just had spinal surgery, and right after that, I had a heart attack. But I was in mission with you on my back. I was there with you in prayer, praying every single step of your way. Just because you are at home, sick as a dog, maybe you're having marital problems, maybe your marriage is falling apart. Maybe you just don't have the money and you're trying to make that end meet. Maybe you lost every cent of your money in your portfolio and you're like, Lord, where am I going to get the money? But you see, God gave each one of you guys a talent, and maybe that talent is your trial. Maybe that one talent, 2 talent, 3 talent. Maybe it's you being on your knees in prayer. Maybe it's that coworker at work that's driving you crazy. Maybe it's the husband that's making you want to just run out the window. Ah! Wherever you are, you see, God gave each one of us a gift. And even those trials are our gifts. Recently, I have a friend who had cancer, and I watch her children all the way around her hold and stand in faith. And they became walking billboards for Jesus Christ. I stand in faith. I stand then, and I believe without a shadow of a doubt that my God is going to heal me. My God is going to get me through this. And because of her standing in faith, she became the most beautiful billboard for Jesus Christ. I can do all things. If that woman can do it, I can do it. If those kids, her beautiful children, can do it, so can I. So let me ask you this. What are you doing with your talents here in Memphis, Tennessee? You don't have to go to Belize or Honduras to be missionaries. You could be missionaries right here. What are you guys doing with your ministry?
My name is Katie Kirkpatrick, and I'm a college student. And this trip to Honduras was my second trip. I went last summer to Honduras. So I knew from previous experience that this trip was definitely going to be a blessing, not only to the people in Honduras, but also to myself. And first off, a little background about me. I haven't always been known as the most verbose and talkative person. I'm pretty much the textbook introvert. Like, really social situations kind of freak me out and drain me of all energy. So I knew going into Honduras that I would be around a whole lot of kids that would be speaking Spanish that I kind of understand, and that it would be for several hours in the heat for a whole entire week. And I was kind of nervous about that, even though I had done that before. And it's sort of this thing that I go through where I always doubt, am I going to be awkward? Am I going to say the right things? And during the week in Honduras, I started thinking about some stories from the Bible. And I started thinking about Moses when God asked him to go and lead the Israelites out of Egypt. And Moses basically said, I'm not eloquent. I think you've got the wrong guy. I don't think I'm the right person. And God said back, I will be your mouth and teach you what you shall speak. And I also thought about Paul in 2 Corinthians when he talks about the thorn in his side, this struggle, this pain that he has. And God responds to that as Paul asks God to take it away. And God responds, my grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in your weakness. And the night before we left for Honduras, I was talking to God and I was just saying, God, I'm not sure if I'm cut out for this, because I was leading singing and there were about 7 less people going to help with VBS than we had last time. And I was just wondering, am I going to be enough for this? And you know what God said? He said, trust me, I'll give you the words to speak. My power is made perfect in your weakness. This thing about yourself that you don't like and that you're embarrassed about, I'm going to use it to do great things. And you know what? He did use it to do great things. When we were in Honduras, I was at least like 3 children wide the whole time. I'm serious. I felt like some sort of like child-covered monsters. They would like grab onto my legs and my hands. And sometimes in the quiet moments, some of the kids would come up and they would sing the songs that we had taught them, and they would just whisper them in my ear, and that was really sweet. And when the time was right, God gave me the words to speak. And I didn't even need to use my limited knowledge of Spanish. He made something glorious out of something small, weak, and broken. And you know what? The more I come to know and love the people of Cebu, the more horrible and hopeless their situation seems. But God doesn't just do this sort of thing for me. He's doing it for them, and he can do this for you too. The fingerprints of God are all over that town. And the kids there, they just exude, they just pour out Jesus' love, and it's so amazing. And I think when I was in Cebu, it was just a reiteration of something that God has taught me throughout my life, that I need to trust that even when things seem hopeless and when I'm broken and flawed, that he can make me enough for anything that he wants me to do.